All right, let's bring her in. She is the director of the movie The Wrong Paris, which was released on Netflix last Friday. It is Janeen Damian. Janeen, thanks for coming on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
The second I saw this trailer hit online, I was like, well, clearly my audience is going to love this, and I want to talk to people involved with this movie, because when I watched it, I was like, very cute movie. I really enjoyed it, and when I watch it, I'm sitting there going like, this is clearly the people behind this movie clearly are a fan of the Bachelor franchise. It's kind of a parody of that with some twist to it. So I got to ask you right off the bat, in terms of your background when it comes to directing films, what made you want to direct a film like this that essentially, parodies the Bachelor world?
Oh, well, I just thought it was such a unique take on it. I think that a lot of people have been wanting to tap into, the reality dating idea of crossing that into a fictional story. And when this script came to us, Nicole, who wrote the script, she is a producer in reality television, and so she knows it so well. And we just thought, well, this is a really interesting, different way of getting into a reality dating show. So once they sent me the script, I took a deep dive into it, and then I became obsessed, like everybody, like the rest of the world, and obviously your audiences as well.
So how many seasons would you say you started binging and just getting caught up on this Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise?
I would say probably the last couple of seasons. But I kind of actually went in and I was researching for the film. So I would go in and I would kind of scrub through and I would target certain elements that we were looking for. So I was trying to learn as much as I could as quickly as possible. But I'm a big fan now.
when you're reading this script and you're kind of mapping this movie out in your head, did you have Miranda Cosgrove in mind to play your lead? Did you have her in your mind? Is this like, I would love to have Miranda play Dawn in this film? Or is it just you ran through a bunch of auditions and she just popped for you guys?
Oh, no. Netflix came to us and they had a definite idea of who they wanted to play Dawn. And we were so excited to get Miranda because she does come from television and she has such a huge fan base that is really interested in seeing her as now as a woman. It's something different for them. And so we thought that she was a perfect fit because it's a perfect crossover audience to bring her into the reality dating world.
I have a niece and a nephew who grew up on iCarly, so I'm familiar with Miranda's work. And it was funny because honestly, I mean, I know iCarly did get rebooted, but I didn't see then because my niece and nephew had kind of outgrown it. But I just knew Miranda as iCarly, and just seeing her as a as a grown woman now, I'm like, wow. First off, I thought the chemistry between her and Pearson, who plays Trey, your lead, I thought it was off the charts. I was like, wow, these two legit look like they could be a couple. I don't know where Pearson came from, but I think this guy's got a future in TV and movies. Like he was really good. I really liked the casting of them as your two leads for the show.
Well, thank you, because that's something that is always a crapshoot. You cast, you always cast our two leads, and you imagine them together, and you do, if it's available to us, we do a chemistry read, which we did do with them, but it's not a given, and it's something that the two actors have to bring with them. And Miranda and Pearson had an absolute respect for each other. They got along. I think what was so fun about this movie is that the whole cast fell in love with each other, and on off days, everybody was hanging out, everybody was together, and it really reads on camera, and it's something that you can't manufacture, and it's not a sure bet, and I think that we really struck gold on this one because they're phenomenal together.
One of the things when it was early on in the movie, and I was like, and I don't know how you guys reacted, I honestly thought Pearson's abs were fake. I was like, there's no way somebody could be this chiseled. There's no way. Like, Were you guys in as much of an awe of this guy's abs as I was? Because I could not. I was like, this is unbelievable. This
It's
guy's ripped.
you know, his parents are gorgeous too, I have to say. I think that it was just like genetics that made this perfect baby. But it's really funny because when we were in color, our colorist kept saying, I'm sorry, but I just have to ask, because we were doing a scene where there was actually water on his body, which clearly means that there can't be any makeup or visual effects for that matter. It would be really difficult. But she was like, are they really real? Can they really be real? And he just has that God-given body that is so gorgeous, and that he, spends a lot of time and a lot of dedication on keeping it up. But I think that it's just, I think you can also say that genetics had a lot to do with it. But he's a glorious person physically, but he's also that beautiful inside as well, which is really rare.
I also noticed it's funny when the bar scene happened. I'm like, gosh, that looks like Harry Jowsey that makes an appearance. I'm like, wait, is that Harry? And I literally had to Google Harry, and I was like, I just Googled his IMDb page to see if it was on there, and it said the wrong pair. So I'm like, oh, okay, it was Harry Jowsey. I just how did that casting come about? Just because he is a Netflix guy and has been on Netflix shows?
Oh, that was so fun. Actually, he's friends with our casting director.
Okay.
And it came together. It was just one of those organic things. He wanted to come on set, and he has such an amazing attitude. He just wanted to be there and be around and have fun. And we were so fortunate that we got him on camera, and he did an amazing job, because we were sort of riffing and playing about what we could do. And we put him together with Caden, who plays his wingman. And they just played on set, and it really turned out great.
Yeah, no, it did. It was a really good cameo.
Yes, his little I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on here. The OS
yeah, you can.
moment. That was all Harry. He just brought it. It was really fun, and he got along great with Pearson too. So they all had a really good time. We were excited to have Harry.
So how long did it take you to shoot this whole thing? How long was the shoot from beginning to end?
It was 25 days. I think it was 25 days, and then 5 days in Europe. So there was a little bit of a blip, because I don't really want to give anything away, but anyway, we moved. Okay. We moved after a little while to another place. So I would say about 30 days shoot.
Okay. Yeah. So, one of the things in covering The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I've seen it all when it comes to the show. I know all the things that when you're casting for a dating show, there always is, the drunk, the emotional one. And you guys clearly play into that with some of the women that are competing for Trey. Absolutely. On the show. But even the language that you guys use on in your movie, you called it the love vortex. When we watch The Bachelor, it's called the Bachelor bubble, where these people that are on this show, and people ask me all the time, I think people have come to accept it more now just because it's been on for so long. But they always seem to say, how are these people so upset over somebody that they just met and stuff like that? Yeah. And it has more to do with the fact that at the end of the day, you can't go home and talk to your friends or text your buddies or call your friend. Nothing. Your whole focus is on this one person, and you have producers, basically telling you, essentially behind the scenes, you're supposed to fall for this person. And just the way you guys went about it, it was very accurate to how this show works. Like I said, you guys called it the love vortex, when it really, it's the Bachelor bubble. You're in this insulated bubble where all you have to think about is this one guy. So you're probably going to be a little more overly emotional when you're eliminated, because there's also a sense of, it's almost like sleepaway camp. Like you're meeting these people and then you have to leave and they get to stay, and you're a little upset at something like that.
It's true. I think that also, well, we talked as much as we could to find out about the behind the scenes of The Bachelor, and they don't feed them a lot, and they give them a lot of alcohol.
Yes.
And they keep them in uncomfortable circumstances. So that just kind of heightens the emotion. And then I think that these girls, they start bonding together. They become dear friends, and then they also become cliquey. Sorry, got my me just turn this off.
That's all right.
Believe it or not, it's actually a fax.
Oh wow, people still have that?
Anybody even know what a fax is
that's
anymore?
still a thing?
When was the last time I had a fax? Anyway, so so these girls, they become cliques. Then it's like, oh, my best friend is leaving me, and then that evil witch got in, and I, and then it just becomes, it's like high school again. And so I think that sort of perpetuates, and then that everyone. They encourage the emotion, which is what we did too, and it was so fun. But we kind of ended up with sort of a similar situation on set where the girls really bonded, and when one of them had, like when they did get eliminated, actually the actor would go home. Yeah. And so it was kind of it was sort of a similar thing. It's like, oh my God, we lost Hannah,
Yeah. Well, I think one of the other things that you guys did, excuse me, on this show was, in terms of the characters, you always have the person who's kind of naive to the process. And Dawn was your girl this year who said, like, I don't know anything about this show. And that is something that has happened a lot in Bachelor world, where they cast somebody, and as an audience, we have basically said, yeah, they want someone to come on the show who literally has no idea how a producer can manipulate them into saying or doing certain things. Now, Dawn in this situation was the one this season, because all the other girls knew exactly what they were signing up for outside of the location. They all thought they were all going to real Paris. But yeah, it was interesting that your main character was the one that, oh yeah, I've heard about the honeypot, but I don't really know much about it. I don't really follow the show. What is this? I'm supposed to fall for this guy? Oh, okay. I'm just here for the free vacation, which is what a lot of contestants get accused of nowadays, is just going just to be on the show, which is what Dawn ultimately wanted to do, at least at first.
Right, of course. Well, it's really fun to that was one of the things when I was researching the movie is to look at all the different types of girls that they are, and then we tried to tap into as much of that as possible, because that's what makes the show so fun, is to have all the different, everybody's got their gimmick, including the naive one.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is, as we're recording this, literally it's the day after the Bachelorette just made their big announcement on who their next Bachelorette is going to be. And for the first time in the show's history, Bachelor or Bachelorette, 29 seasons of The Bachelor, 21 or 22 of The Bachelorette, they've never cast a celebrity in the lead role. And basically, the production behind the Bachelor franchise just said, fuck it, we're going the celebrity route now. And they cast a woman from the Real Mormon Housewives show, and she's going to be the new Bachelorette. But she's someone that comes on with a major Instagram following and TikTok following, which is exactly what one of the contestants on your show did, and made no bones about the fact that, yeah, I'm here to increase my following. So the timing of it actually works out great in terms of.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. That's I'm going to watch that one. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm totally blanking. I'm totally blanking on the name of the character that on your show in the movie. Lexi.
Yeah. Madison.
So basically, the Bachelorette decided that Taylor Frankie Paul is the new Bachelorette, and she is wildly famous on the Secret Lives of Mormon Housewives show. And yeah, they named her the Bachelorette today. And it's just like, it's weird because I've been covering this show for over 20 years. And for the longest time, especially now, the Bachelor franchise has kind of gone downhill. Granted, network television is just not getting the numbers that it used to because of streaming. But people noticed the numbers were dropping, and people have always been like, well, what do you do to revive the franchise? And they've basically just said, we're turning the chapter. We're gonna cast somebody, because I don't know if you know this, but every Bachelorette they've ever had is someone who was previously on The Bachelor,
right,
got dumped. They have a built-in storyline and a fan base that wants to see them find love. Right. Well, now they just said, screw it. We're just going to go for somebody who has a huge following online, because we know they'll follow her to see her love journey. And that's exactly what they did. And whether or not it's going to work out for them, we won't know until the show ends. But it's an interesting thing to make. It's an interesting choice to make.
Well, it's on our show. Our producers are doing the same thing. They've got the ratings tanking, and they're bringing everything in, which is the reason why we need a sequel for Lexi.
Yes, I didn't think about that. I was like, is something like that being talked about? Is it a possibility?
Well, we had press day yesterday, and we all saw the cast last night, and we were talking to Madison Pettis, who plays Lexi, and she said that she had many questions about that in the press day yesterday. So we're like, yes, Lexi deserves her own show.
I mean, you
She
could easily make it. I mean, I movies aren't easy to make, but you could see where it could spin off into Lexi getting her own. Now, you couldn't do the location twist again, I don't think. It would just be Lexi being the Bachelorette, and you just come up with a new gimmick on maybe how to trick the men into thinking something about the show.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of double cities everywhere, and I think that Yvonne Orji decided that it's going to be the wrong Tuscany.
Oh, the wrong Tuscany.
Because we all want to go to Tuscany to shoot, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, well, I was going to ask you about that filming. I know you had mentioned that there was a glitch possibly in filming, but I didn't know. I'm not a filmmaker. I had no idea. I was like, I think there's actually shooting in Europe. I think they're shooting by the Eiffel Tower, but for all I know, CGI can scare, CGI is a possibility, but are you allowed to say? If you can't, I'm fine. But did you guys shoot in Paris for this?
They didn't tell me what I could or couldn't say, so I'm just going to say it. Yes, we shot in Paris.
Yeah. No, put it whatever it was. It looked great. I mean, it looked. Certainly believable. Like, I really like when you saw the twist at the end. Was there anything that you wanted to change up about it, or were you just like, this is what we want to go with? Was there any thought to possibly doing something different with the twist, or no?
Are you talking about when we were in the script phase before we shot?
Just in the script. Just in the script phase about how you were going to end Trey and Dawn's journey.
Well, okay, so I will say this: we did a preview screening. Sorry, we did a preview screening of the movie, and everybody just wanted more. They just wanted to know. They literally wanted to know the rest of their lives forever.
Yeah.
And so we did do something special for that request that came after the fact. So you have to watch the movie and see what that is. But okay. Yeah, so at the end. But okay. I mean, it's I think that everybody wants to end up in Paris. I mean,
who wouldn't? Paris, France, not Paris, Texas, right?
Yes, but whether they end up together or not is another thing. So
yeah, I mean, it was, like I said, really, really cute film. I know my audience is going to absolutely love it because it is just it's so similar to what we've experienced for the last, I don't know how many Bachelor's been on, 22, 23 years. And then to see it play out, when I first saw the trailer, I talked about it the next day on my podcast, and I'm like, I was thinking, like, I was really diving into, wait a second, how could they pull this off if they were flying around for 9 hours? How would the women not even know that they aren't arriving in the real Paris? And then you guys addressed it in the movie, because I was like, there's got to be some continuity thing that I'm going to miss here. But no, you guys address it in the movie. Like, it is, you answered my question that I had when I first saw the trailer. I was like, wait a second. How could they possibly think that they were? No, you guys answered it. So,
yeah, we gotta ask ourselves those questions and tell the audience. I mean, because everyone's gonna want to know. But that was that was a big conversation that we had in prep, and we kind of worked it out a little bit with Yvonne too, and came up with a funny joke to go with it. So
yeah, and to get the women to believe that that's where they were actually going at first, it's like, okay, yeah, you have to pull off this ruse. You have to be able to, quote unquote, trick them. And you guys did. And you guys pulled it off in a way that I was like, oh, okay, that's how they did it. That makes sense. Like, I was thinking that there was no way, like, the believability scale for me was rather low. And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, you actually could pull this off if this was like a real reality show, if you were very, very intricate with your details. So congratulations. You were able to pull that off.
Thank you. We like to be intricate.
Yeah, no, it was a very good trick. And it was something different. Like, we've seen reality shows where they trick contestants, but nothing like something like this, where you're going to go out of your way and put them on a plane for 9 hours and just go in a circle when, no show would ever do that. They would just
dimmable windows.
Exactly.
You
So
can't see out. But
anyway, yeah, that was it. That was it was a nice twist on something that we have seen years and years and years of. But this is something that's like, oh, okay. Because we've seen reality show contestants tricked by production with something, but never a trick this big, right?
Well, hey, maybe maybe The Bachelor will do something crazy next time.
Yeah.
Well, he's casting a Mormon housewife.
Yeah, exactly. And then when the sequel to this comes out and it's the wrong Tuscany, then we'll be looking forward to that. And how are you going to trick the men into thinking they're going to Tuscany? How about that?
Oh my gosh, I do not know, but that sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, Janeen, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's called The Wrong Paris. It dropped on Netflix last Friday, the 12th. Go check it out. Miranda Cosgrove is the star of this movie. Very Bachelor parodied. And all my Bachelor fans I know will really enjoy this movie. Janeen, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it.